If you haven't seen it, MIT published a study saying that at least 95% of the AI agent projects are bound to fail in the next couple of years. And so in this video, I want to go over what this study actually says and how to avoid being one of those in the 95%. And for context, my name is Guillermo, and I run a software and AI studio called Seven Sigma, where we've been building products for clients for about 5 years. So looking at what the study actually says, there are a couple of points that I believe summarize the entire point of the study. And one is the 5% that actually succeeds, it's because they pick one pain point, they execute it well, and they partner smartly with companies that use their tools. That's the 5% that succeeds. Now, the 95%, the reason they fail is, and reading from the article, the core issue, not the quality of the AI models, but the learning gap for both tools and organizations. While executives often blame regulation and model performance, MIT's research points to flawed enterprise integration. Generic tools like ChatGPT excel for individuals because of their flexibility, but they stall in enterprise use since they don't learn from or adapt to workflows. I believe this speaks volumes of the entire AI industry and the entire, honestly, software and product industry when it comes to AI. And I'm going to tie this back to what I said about how to avoid being in the 95%. I believe there are 3 key mistakes that you need to avoid to be that. And the first one is you need to avoid falling for the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Something that we've experienced at our studio is that a lot of clients or a lot of prospective clients come to us and they want to quote unquote build AI or use AI to do stuff, but they don't really have a reason why. And the best way I could summarize this is if you're trying to build something with AI or with AI agents, but you can't articulate how the agent is going to exactly solve the problem that you want, you're probably trying to jump on the AI train more than actually solve a problem. And I've made countless videos on this, but the way to make an AI product successful and the way to integrate AI properly is to know the problem that you're solving and be very specific. Again, most people use it as a silver bullet and they use it because they feel they have to, because everyone else say they are using it. Obviously, because of, if you read the study, you'll realize that it's not true. But yes, don't feel the pressure to integrate AI. Find problems that can be solved with AI better than they could be solved with any other tool, and then implement AI. Now, the second point is, or the second way to avoid falling into the 95% and be the 5% that's actually successful is you want to be architecting your AI solution or your agent properly. And something that we've experienced, and honestly, this only comes from experience because I haven't seen that documented or explained anywhere, is that there's a very fine balance when it comes to how much you trust your agent versus how much you trust your software infrastructure and ecosystem around the agent. What this means is obviously agents have instructions and they have tools, and you can put the entire process into an instruction or a prompt and hope that it works. In most cases, that doesn't work. However, something that I've seen repeatedly is that in tutorials, documentations, and overall training material online, even from reputable sources or the AI companies themselves, that's what they teach because it actually works in very constrained use cases. The quintessential AI agent example is the weather agent, and you can get away with very simple infrastructure. The reality is, in production, this thing doesn't work. And we've only discovered this from experience and failing time and time again. And honestly, the only solution that I can give you with this is you just need to put in the reps and make sure that you develop the intuition on how to build agents properly. If you're just building agents off of some tutorial or reading the documentation, you're not going to make it work. It requires a lot of trial and error. Which leads me to my final point on how to avoid making a big mistake with AI agents and falling into the 95% that need to cancel their project, is that you need to start small. It's very tempting, it's very attractive to try to reinvent your entire business or to, revolutionize something by putting a big agent or a big system of agents that cover absolutely everything. And you can see people speculate about these ideas like, oh, we won't have companies. We will just have companies run by agents. The reality is, at least as of today, which is September 2025, that is absolutely fantasy land. That's not reality. That's not happening. You need to start very small, identify very niche problems, and build an agent as small as you can to solve those problems, to address these issues, and then start from there. And this ties back to architecting your agent properly. The bigger it gets, the complexity and the difficulty of implementing something that works in production doesn't scale linearly, it scales exponentially. And again, if we go back to the research, the point it made about the 5% that's actually successful is like they pick one pain point, execute it well. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Don't try to be the next big thing. You're likely not going to be, not even the big companies can be the next big thing, apparently. So you probably won't.